안녕하세요 여러분. 제 이름은 Emida. Today is January 1st, so we can officially say goodbye to 2025. And in honor of saying goodbye to 2025, I thought it would be really cool to look through my 2025 notebook that I learned all of my Korean in, or at least most of my Korean in. This is 2026. Well, it started December of 2025, but basically 2026. So we're gonna move this out of the way. And I want to show you guys what my process was like, starting, like literally just starting Korean. And I started Korean August of 2024, but I didn't start writing and taking notes until September of 2024. So in August, I was really, Duolingo user. And Duolingo, don't even get me started, I'm sorry. Duolingo is really good if you already have a foundation. Whoa, was that Southern? What the heck? Duolingo is really good when you already have a foundation, right? And when you just immediately go on an app, like, okay, I'm gonna learn this language, language X, right? It's not really gonna teach you in depth like you should. So I realized that very quickly and went to YouTube. And it was a lot more helpful to me because it was from real people who, had real sentences that I could actually use in real life, not my cucumber is milky. All these random sentences that I would not be using, right? I was able to have resources that were more applicable to what I was trying to do. Not just, let me just learn some Korean for fun. I wanted to learn Korean. So after I realized that I did want to learn Korean and not just kind of mess around, because originally I learned Korean because someone on my For You page on social media told me that learning the alphabet is super easy. And I was like, okay, bet. And I was just like, let me just learn it for fun. Wow, wait, this is really cool. After I realized I really, really wanted to learn it, I started going away from Duolingo and going into these other resources that would help me more. And I started off with the alphabet. So let's continue. All right, so I guess Saturday morning, I was like, okay, let's just work on the alphabet. This is the beginning of freshman year. I remember specifically writing all this stuff when I was in my dorm. Right? Was I? Wait, that's trippy. I actually don't know. Either way, yeah, so I started off writing the alphabet, writing, the vowels first. This is not a vowel. I remember like, oh shoot, I did not mean to put that there. That belongs here, which I put here, and also what the consonants are pronounced as. And I never really took the consonant names very seriously until a few months ago. Like I always just called mium just the M sound, or the B, I called it the B sound. I never really actually had a way to call them by something, and now I know. So I did write that, but never really went back to it. Now, this was from Billy's video, who I do talk about a lot, or not a lot, but I remember my first video on my YouTube channel, I did mention him and how his beginner playlist is very, very good for beginners. I haven't even been through all of it yet. There's a lot of really good stuff on there. And this was one of his early videos in that playlist, and it talked about the sound change rules. Very, very important. A lot of people skip over this. I couldn't find anything about it anywhere else but his video. And that was last year, so, maybe that's, different now. And maybe I didn't look the best, but I really couldn't find it anywhere else. So this was very important to me. The shiot, the S sounding, if it's after a syllable, it's pronounced as a digut, a D sound. When I took Duolingo and it had an S sound at the end of a syllable, I was like, what is going on? I was so confused. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's why. And that's why, like, Duolingo isn't the best with that. They aren't going to go in depth with that. Now, still in September, we have some common Korean words. I don't remember where I found this from. Might have just looked it up, might have used YouTube, but this was not from Duolingo. So, water, 물, coffee, kopi, all that really good stuff that I should know. Now we have Korean verbs, which I do remember was from Billy because I remember the sentence that I wrote with it, which was 나는 어제 피자를 먹었다. And, just meaning I ate pizza yesterday. Also did some conversations. Who was this with Billy? Okay, so yeah, I started last month is what I wrote down for when I learned Korean. So yeah, I did learn in August. And, oh, no. This was, I used Hello Talk. Yeah, this was the conversation I had in Hello Talk. This was a real I was like, did I look this up? No, this was a real conversation. Hi, how are you? I said, 나 잘 지내. Whoa! Why am I so... Oh my god, I'm so informal. Oh my god, I so used Google Translate. Oh my god. Okay, I have 요즘, right? 뭐해? That's horrible. And I know for a fact the stranger was older than me, bro. I was like 8. No, I was 18. Oh, wow. 나 한국어 연습 중이야. I'm practicing Korean. Yeah. That's, oh my God, that's, dang, I was really casual. I was just like, yeah, man. I don't think I knew what casual versus, polite meant. And I remember we had a lot going on, and I texted her. I said, I use Translate. Okay. Wow. And I started polite too. 안녕하세요. And then, oh, 뭐해? No, 뭐예요? Just 뭐해? Yeah, don't do that. What the heck? More verbs. To see, look, watch, 보다. Yeah. This was still September. And I also want to say, all this work that I'm putting in the first few days of like really locking into Korean, so important. So important, because this is literally how much you go all out in the beginning is literally your foundation for how it continues, for how your language learning continues. Because if I was like, I'm gonna practice here and there, I'm just gonna write this down, I needed to lock in. I needed to write all this. I need to do this for 80 minutes. One page, 80 minutes. So I guess I wrote this. No, I guess I wrote, okay, all of this, all these 3 pages happened over 80 minutes. Because I was like, let me do this. Let me grind it out. And then it's going to be in my head. That's really important to be able to have that, because I don't have to do any work to be like, oh, what was this? What was that? Because I put the work in a year ago. And I'm so thankful for my past self for doing that. Okay, so common phrases. You're welcome. How old are you? What's your name? See, yeah, writing all the stuff that I need to know. By the way, though, all this stuff here, I did not learn all this stuff by looking back and reading this. This was kind of just me writing it out because, writing is good. But I don't remember learning it from this. So, and also some of the stuff was wrong. I remember I was looking back at this and I was like, that's not right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, yeah. This is also very important. This is when I first started writing down stuff based on the information that I've already learned and then checking it, which is called retrieval active learning. So I would write down, okay, I think this means this, right? And then I would say, no, it's not. If it's wrong, it's fine. If it's wrong, it's fine. And I'm really glad I started that early, because I'm still trying to learn now that I should be having conversations with people. And I know I'm going to be bad at it at first, but that's okay. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen, actually. So, okay. So I wrote, I went home, 저는 집을, I put the 상시읒 right here on the top of the syllable when it should be at the bottom here. So that was wrong, and I fixed it. And if I never made that mistake, who knows if I would be able to fix it and then go off of that fixed answer. So if you never make mistakes, are you ever going to improve? I don't think so. I really don't think so, because your brain has to, make all of those connections, and you can't make those connections if you're not trying. So, okay, so I got 2 out of the 4 right. That's really good. And that's what matters, right? Getting it right, getting it wrong, it's okay. All right, next day. Okay, this is when I first started learning grammar, I suppose. Like, actually, grammar as in, object markers, topic markers, subject markers. Very good. Oh, okay, September to March 31st. Wow, that is a huge gap. So October, November, December, January, February, most of March, I was doing nothing. So I guess I did a brain dump with all the stuff that I was passively learning. I know I was still learning during this, but again, this was like freshman year, and it was a lot was going on. I hadn't practiced in a while, so let's brain dump and see what I know. I like that. So the verbs that I know, brain dump, and then what I want to learn. So a month later in April, I did take a Korean class, but I learned nothing. I did learn that 쌤 means, 선생님, but like short. Like, so it's short for 선생님. And 선생님 is like for teachers or for strangers, to refer to them respectfully. So I have learned that when I go to Korea for study abroad, after my professor's name, I put 쌤. And that's like, just respect. And I mean, when I go to Korea, they're probably going to say that, but I think it's good to know beforehand. Anyway, so that was really cool to learn. Okay. Wow, it's June now. So we skipped May. So, okay, I'm seeing that it's a common pattern that whenever I skip at least a month, I'm doing a review or a brain dump, because I need to see what I know. Okay, so I guess I did a review. Oh yeah, I remember I wrote down the stuff that I did not know. Yeah. I do recommend these review sessions where you kind of dump everything that you know, write stuff that you don't know, and then you can expand upon it and go deeper into those topics that you don't know, which is what I did here. I did a review, and then I went on to make lesson plans for myself to go in depth on the things that I didn't know. So as you can see, I did a lesson on adjectives, attributive forms. So just like anything that describes a noun, like small room, big bag. Okay. Practiced it. Lesson 2, the book I am reading, the book I read. Okay. That's good. I don't remember much of this. I do remember lesson 1, but this I don't know much about. Lesson 3, I did counters. This is very important, and I still don't really know them. Not good. Speaking practice. Okay, so I would write down a sentence that I thought of, and then I would just speak it. Okay, no, that's good. Because I barely practice my speaking, except when I'm recording my videos, which that's why I like doing this. Sino-Korean. Yeah, I still need to learn the differences for Sino-Korean, Native Korean, because they're both used for different things, like the number systems. So yeah, that's something that I've always been struggling with. Okay, then we went on to prepositions, which I believe are actually called location nouns, if I can remember correctly. So like, under, on, in front of. I'm doing better with these. I'm memorizing them a bit more, which is good. Practice. Okay, this is when I started being like, wait, topic 1 is a thing? I didn't know about topic. I didn't know. And I think this is when I found out. Because topic is like, tests that you have to take for proficiency in Korean. And I guess I wrote down all the words that I should know for topic 1. Basically, I highlighted everything that I didn't know. And now I know more, which is really good. I don't know all of them, but I know more. So that's good. So, okay, more Billy Go. Very good. This is still in June. And you can see that my handwriting is getting a lot more chaotic. What the heck? It used to be very neat. Look at that. And look at that. I honestly think that if your handwriting is getting more chaotic, that's a good sign. Let's see. Oh yeah. This is something that I am a huge advocate for, which is something that I call inquiries. And I would basically write down a question. Like maybe I see something on YouTube and I'm like, wait, like what does that mean? And I'd write down, wait, I wanted to use a sentence, but I didn't know how to use it. How do I say this in Korean? And then I would look it up. I would teach myself, I would answer it, and then I would practice it, with different sentences. Because I think that's very important for you to realize, okay, there's this hole in my learning process. Let me fill it up. Like that's really important to be able to see that. So, all right, I did some more practice, some real situations like ordering at a coffee shop, which I do need to know when I do go to Korea. Conversation basics, that's really good too. Airport vocab, yeah, because when I do go to Korea for study abroad, I do not want to be lost. It's kind of embarrassing. Listening test. I remember this was a YouTube video and he was just talking in Korean. That was it. He was showing pictures and stuff, but yeah, he was just talking in Korean. So I wrote down everything that I was hearing, which took a lot of work. And then, mani, that's what I heard. And I didn't know that it was written like this, mani. Wow, wait, that's really cool. Okay, this is very good. I'm an advocate for this as well because you don't realize how much you don't hear. Listening is my hardest skill in Korean, or I guess my worst skill. It's like the hardest thing for me to learn. And that is on the topic test. And that's also going to be on my placement test, I'm guessing, for when I do go to Korea. So yeah, I need to log in with that. And then yeah, I would show my errors and write them correctly. I like that. And the thing with Korean is that like mani, it can be written like that. I mean, it's not actually written like that. It's written like this. But these two things sound exactly the same. They sound exactly. And that's the thing with Korean. You have different consonants that can move around. We have sound change rules. We have, okay, this syllable ended in this, and the next syllable started with this. So you can bring this up here, and you can sound this out here. But if you're not a native speaker, you can't just know that from hearing that. And that's why reading is easier, but wow, listening is extremely hard. At least for me. I don't know. Okay, more review. Very good. Okay, this is when I was like, okay, this is still in June. And this is when I was like, I should not say umbrella equals usan. I should say usan equals this, right? Instead of attaching English to this Korean definition or this Korean term, I should just pair the Korean term with the actual object I'm describing, so I don't have to, you know, translate for myself. There is an app, or like a desktop app. It's free on desktop. I heard that it costs money on like mobile or something, but you can, what's it called? Anki? I don't know. I'll write it here. But basically, it is an app where you can assign different terms to pictures, and you don't need to use like an English definition. You don't think umbrella, you just think of that image, and then you flip it around and you see usan. So it's just a direct pair, which I think is really interesting. All right, now we're in July finally. So this is some letter review repetition. Okay, this is good. I was also going over stroke order, which is important. Okay. Oh, and this is also when my jiut was written as a little bird with a hat on it, and my shield was written as a bird. But yeah, now I write these differently. I write this, you know, with a line than that, and this one I write as, you know, that more close to this Z look, like this honorable mention look. And then same for this, I wrote it like this, but with like a little dash on the top. Okay, so more Billy Go, very good. More grammar. Okay, this is when I was getting more into grammar for a topic instead of just, you know, vocab. There was 112, and man, I think there's supposed to be more. I think this was just part 1, I don't know. Or, man. Anyways, though, I wrote all of that. I wrote what go means, what jiman means, just basically what the term or the grammar was, and then what it is. And then I wrote, you know, practice sentences. I wrote, you know, reasons why things happen. Okay. I still don't really know a lot of these because this was a lot of information. And I started with only doing 40, so it's not as much. I did like full pages with a quiz on that specific one. Doing that 112 times, very unrealistic. So I don't know why the heck I tried to do that. But I mean, I don't know, it helped a little bit. And I also have flashcards that I made. It's at my school right now, so I can't show it. But yeah, that's very good. Basics. Okay. Okay, we're in July now. This is the summer that I was working a lot, and I didn't have time really for Korean as usual. But I practiced at work, which was hard because, you know, I was behind the counter, but then I was also making froyo, so it's like, what the heck am I supposed to do? But I did that a little bit, did some Korean listening tests. Okay, we're finally in August, so this is when I started making my YouTube videos and actually planning them out. Okay, so this was October. So we missed the whole month of September. Yeah. Oh, this was kind of goofy. This was kind of when I started not practicing Korean as much. And, you know, sophomore year, the first semester of sophomore year, which is October 2025, you know, around this time, it was very stressful, I remember. I did end up getting all A's, so I'm very excited about that in the end. But very stressful, could not study Korean at all, really. So I guess this was like the sliver of, you know, trying that I could do. Like, okay, let's play Stardew Valley, my favorite video game, really, and just play it in Korean. I guess I only did that for a few minutes because I got bored or I had to do studying or something. K-drama intonation. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is when I was watching K-drama, which I don't watch. So I was like, let me just log in and watch some K-drama. And then I was humming or like as they were talking so I could match the intonation. And I was using my pen and going up and down whenever they did. And I was comparing it to, because this was kind of just, you know, to make my voice get used to going up and down, like how they do and when they do it in their sentences. And then I compare that to English, and look how much flatter English is compared to Korean tonation. English intonation is flatter than Korean intonation, which makes sense. But yeah, I just think that's very interesting. Kind of a subtle difference, but when you see it, you see it for sure. But yeah, that's kind of it. I didn't write anything else. But this was like my favorite book ever. I loved writing in this. Whenever I studied Korean, it was like a huge motivator for me to have a book. So I recommend having your own notebook. Even if you're not, you know, like me, I started off, you know, not being very skillful in this. That's kind of the whole point, right? You don't want to be like, okay, once I get to this point, I'll start whatever. No, just start now. And then now you can see how you were in the beginning, which I think is so cool. And I'm going to show my current book as well, just because I don't have a lot in it, so I can't really make a full video on it. But I'm going to start off showing what I started in December 2025. It's already a little bit neater, neatness is very important for me because it makes me stay motivated to use this book. Wrote down numbers because I already have the alphabet memorized. Now this is like my first page. You know, the first page of this versus the first page of this one is completely different. I had this because I didn't really know it. I need to go back to this, and now I have this because I don't really know it. And you know, mathematical stuff because again, I'll be going to school there. Psychology does have math, unfortunately, so we'll be using that. Sign-on numbers. Okay, yeah, and then I'm also writing down some topic level 1 terms I don't know. I did know a lot of the topic 1 vocabulary, but I just wrote down the stuff that I wasn't really knowledgeable about as much. And then kind of went number 1, this, number 2, this, just like using each one. And I started off doing a full page for each term. As you can see here, full page. But as I went on, I started just doing, you know, a few on each page. But yeah, I did that. Okay, yeah, I did by ear. This was a little fun experiment that I did where I had something kind of say a word or a phrase, and I would write down what I heard. And then I would see if I wrote down what is actually written as. This is because Korean doesn't always sound how it's written, or vice versa. Kind of like how English, we have silent letters and all that stuff. It's kind of like the same thing where I'm trying to train my brain to be able to find those places that aren't written as I think they would be written as. But yeah, I did a lot of that. Short stories. Oh, this is a Korean book that I have. I don't think I have it here. Dang, that kind of sucks. Well, I think I do have it. Wait, I might. I do. Oh my gosh. I do have it. So I bought this book from Barnes & Noble. But it's freaking amazing. Let me see. And it's not even like teaching me what each thing means, or maybe it is. Oh yeah, it kind of does. Look at that. Like after each chapter, I think. But I've just been kind of reading it because I want to get used to just reading it, you know? Because speaking, this is the first step when it comes to speaking, just being able to read out loud. So, you know, I would take words in here and write down what I think it means. Usually I would get pretty close. I showered because I woke up early. Nope, I woke up early and took a shower. Because I thought this was reason, but it's actually a sequence. And then we also have I ate food in my room. Nope, but I ordered food from my room. So it's like little things that I just messed up on. But this is really good when it comes to just like seeing what you know. Okay, these are the location nouns that I was talking about. So I made sure to show the actual sentence structure so I know where to put them in the sentence. Because that's honestly where the tricky part is, like figuring out where each part of a sentence is. Yeah, like a week later, I did a refresh. Ones that I remember. And then repetition. But yeah, that's all I've done so far. Oh, okay. Conversation basics. This is really good too. Oh, I did that like yesterday. Okay. 맞아요. 그렇죠. 그렇지. I'm wondering if, because the hiat is right there, if that means the jiat sounds like a chiat. Should we look that up right now? 그렇죠. Let me see. This is why having 2 notebooks is really good. Yeah, if a regular consonant comes after a hiat, it becomes pronounced as a strong consonant. So yeah, this would be pronounced as 그렇죠. 그렇지. That's really good to know. But yeah, just writing stuff that I should know when I go to Korea. And that's all I have. I don't have anything else. I have so much to fill it with. Wow. That's so cool. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, I will see you in the next video. 안녕히 가세요.